Hey there friends, welcome back to another episode of Brave of All Trades. I had a friend give me a shout about an Exmark zero-turn lawnmower, said it wouldn't start. He took the cover off and lo and behold, look what he found. The mice got a hold of that ignition coil and yeah, he told me it didn't look too good, and he is right. I mean, there's some dirt and stuff in there, but yeah, that'll definitely keep it from starting. There's no way that that's going to not ground out and take away his spark. So, and then also looking here, looks like his kill wires got pretty chewed up too. So let's see if we can get it to start. And then if these are destroyed, there's a pretty good chance we won't get it to stop. So this is what supplies ground to the coil. So basically the motor will keep running if you don't ground the coils out. So that wire doesn't look too healthy either. Actually, this is the ground. What do we have here? I think this might be the solenoid for the carburetor. So these are, yep, that's exactly what that is. That's the solenoid wire for the carburetor, and it does not look too good. There's a pretty good chance we're not getting voltage to open up that carburetor. So he probably is not getting any fuel. Let's get the coil swapped out and then start diagnosing that wiring. Alright, first things first, let's verify we have the right ignition coils. Because I bought it without knowing for sure. Match up, and they appear to be about the appropriate length. Need the motor to be turned where the magnet is facing the coil. So that magnet there facing the coil, if you're going to put a business card in there, get that gapped appropriately. This is the ground wire that allows you to shut the engine off. We obviously want that hooked up. We have access. Let's look and see what we have to do with those wires. Okay, so here's my conundrum. I didn't bring any wiring stuff with me. I brought coils. Shame on me. So I found some boat trailer wiring, and I need to verify that this fixes the problem before I go all the way back to get the stuff. So this is one of those scenarios where I'm just going to temporarily hook it up and not fix it the right way until I know exactly what I need, because I gotta drive quite a ways back to go get the rest of my stuff. So let's try to get this wiring done. I'm going to temporarily hook up to this positive wire that goes down to the ignition, or to the solenoid on the carburetor, and I'm going to temporarily hook up a kill wire coming from here over to this coil. Yeah, there was some chewed up wiring. I think there was still a couple of strands that made a connection, so all I want to do is verify that this is the only problem before I go making several trips back and forth to the house for tools and supplies. Now he said when he was trying it, he tried to spray carb cleaner and it wouldn't fire. So I don't think that this wire was the problem. I think this was probably his biggest culprit. At least I'm hoping. Could also be dealing with a shared flywheel key and a few other problems, but should I get to the bottom of what's going on first? Just temporarily. Business card. Drop those on there. Don't over tighten these. Turn your flywheel, get your business card back. Same thing on this other side. Put your business card there for right now. Let's pull this rubber boot off. All we're going to do is slide that rubber boot onto the next one. Just like that. Put that in there. Let's get the other one out. Ground lug goes on there. That's why we just finished fixing. This one. This is going this side out. Grab whoever's business card is your favorite that day. It can be your favorite business card as long as it's a normal thickness. Boot off, slide it right out, slide it onto the new one. Let's see, choke on, fast throttle, PTO off. I don't know if the battery's dead or if, let's see, parking brake's on, that's on. This should fire up, I believe, in this position. Yep, I heard something. Let's see if she fires. Sure like to know the way she's kicking like that. I'm kind of curious if the flywheel key is sheared. So give myself a better ground. I'm almost positive this flywheel key is sheared. It's trying to spin and it's backfiring and not wanting to run properly. Make sure I bring back a way to take that off, and I need to be able to fix the wire. Gather some tools up, make a road trip, and I'll catch up with you guys. Alright, let's get some stuff fixed here. So while we're here, let's go ahead and check to make sure that the key switch energizes the solenoid for the carburetor. Really confident it works. Let's just see. Alright, the key off, got nothing. With the key on, I've got 12.1. Let's make sure that's what the battery voltage is. 12.2. So it's got a little bit of voltage drop, but not much. Feeling pretty confident that the solenoid's doing its job. While I'm here, turn the key on and feel for the solenoid. I feel it clicking. So I'm pretty sure that that's doing what it's supposed to do. At least it's going to be further down on the diagnosing list. I do not have a tune-up kit for this thing. I was looking to see what parts I had and I didn't have anything. So it does need new fuel lines, fuel filter, oil change most likely. The oil's not too dirty, but the filter doesn't look that old, but plugs look old, and the definitely needs a cleaning. So we've got new coils. They should be gapped properly. Let's see if we can inspect that flywheel key. 32 millimeter. Hoping this low compressor has enough to do it. Oh yeah, nice. Very nice. And it looks like the keyway is perfect. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I can zoom in on there. So that was wrong. I thought the keyway surely would have been sheared. So that notch right there lines up with the notch on the crankshaft. So if this was sheared, it would be slightly turned. It would change the timing. So that's not a. Even bad guesses are still educational, right? Choke plate appears to be working. But the throttle appears to be. Motor that had a whole lot of oil in the cylinders and it wasn't firing. So it's going to burn all that oil and spark fluid and whatever else was in there out before it even has a chance to fill up. Alright, before we get too far, let's shut it down and put the coil cover back on, just to make sure it doesn't overheat. I'll start it back up, let the rest of it finish burning off. I'm going to try to use that battery charger to get a charge on this thing, because if it doesn't have enough battery on it, it'll actually take voltage away from the carburetor and it will shut the motor down, even though you jump started it and it's running just fine when you had everything hooked up. So, and a low voltage, that solenoid, the spring will overcome the solenoid power, which is keeping it in the open position. The spring will actually overcome it if the power is not there, and it'll shut the engine off. And it'll make it stumble first, and you'll swear something else is going on. Anyway, let's get the cover on this one. Okay guys, camera dropped out on me, I didn't realize it. So 6 of these are on the outside. Those are 3/8 bolts. The 2 screws that were underneath this cover were 1/4 inch, and then the 3 on top are 5/16. So I snapped all that back together. The batteries are only about halfway charged, so what I'm going to do is use the jump pack, get this fired up, use my voltmeter, and see that we are charging. Because as long as the battery is charging, very likely I'll have at least 12 volts back here to this fuel solenoid, and we might be able to just let it run for a little bit, finish charging its way up. Battery's not that old. It's showing it's from last year, so it shouldn't be that old. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire this thing up, let some of the smoke and everything else roll off, and let's see what we get. So yeah, the battery charger is showing it's working pretty dang hard. It's only half charge right now. That's us with the charger still plugged in. Let's unplug the charger and see if it stays. Not bad. Well, it was good until it wasn't. Let's fire it back up with the jump pack and see if we can keep it running. See how fast that battery's discharging. Yep, so I pulled out that same plug. I can't focus. Pulled out that same plug that was on this side of the motor, and yeah, it's got oil all over it. She fired up and was running pretty good a little bit ago. Didn't take long for it to do this and start smoking like a champ. So I'm gonna try to crank it a little bit and see if anything blows out of that cylinder, but I got a feeling we're looking at turning this thing down. All right, so I put the plug back in, fired it up. She started right up, smoking real bad. As soon as I pulled the cap, it was just spraying out of there like a car that was overheating. So yeah, we got a blown head gasket. I'm kind of curious what we find when we get in there, but stay tuned. I'm gonna try to get some parts order for this thing, and I'd like to get it back to my house so I can actually work on it properly. Yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned.